How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Pillow Talk with Paul Goneau. My guest today is father and comedian Ian Gordon.
Hey, how's it going, man?
It's going good, brother.
Good.
Thank you for coming down.
Oh, I'm happy to be here. This is cool.
So, I've never actually asked you this. How long have you been doing comedy?
15 years, roughly. I think I started around 25, 26, and then I'm almost 40 now. Cough. But, yeah, it's been about that long. I feel like I probably started in earnest more in the late 20s because there was more just like the first couple of years. You got to get your, at least for me, I just got my feet wet and did like a few sets here and there. Maybe a couple every month or whatever, or like took a month off here. And after a couple of years, I really started getting into it more and hosting gigs and stuff like that. So that's when I would say I really started to really enjoy it and like see what it was and what it was all about. But yeah, like 15 years now.
Do you have like a 9 to 5 or is this?
Yeah, I drive a bus.
Okay. Yeah. You'd like a public transit bus?
School bus.
School bus.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So it's good. It's part-time. I'm like semi-retired, you know what I mean? You get your summers off, doctor summer off, and you can go and like, I don't know, being able to have the days off is nice. Like working 8 to 9 and then like 3 to 4 and the rest of the time you're chilling at home. It's good.
I could, man, I could really see you doing something like that. Cause like, you know, I've been doing comedy for maybe about, well, it's weird because we've gone through this like 2-year phase where it's like, I don't know if I should include that. Really, it's going on 4 years, but like 2 of those years I was barely on stage.
That's a strange time, those particular, I think that did a lot to people in comedy. Like it just gives you time to reflect and like there's different varying degrees of professional comedians, some who lost a lot of work, some who like were able to do some stuff with Zoom. But yeah, it's how do you quantify? I guess you have to say if, yeah, you were doing it for those 2 years, I guess, but yeah, it doesn't feel like almost official in a way. Strangely. Yeah,
no, for sure. But like over the course of, you know, the years that I've been doing this, you know, I've come across a lot of like OGs, and I think the first time we met was in Brampton. I think you were headlining Jam Easy's show.
That's right.
They're at that bar, 52nd Street.
Is that place still there? Or is it
I still don't know. We talked about that before. I haven't asked him, but he's not doing shows there anymore. I'm not exactly sure.
There are kilos of cocaine in the basement. Like you can't tell me there's not a dead body.
It's a sketchy place, but it was I enjoyed the show. That was kind of like cool. Home base for me for a while. I would do it like once or twice a month, and Jam Easy was always really supportive and like, yeah, throughout the 4 years or whatever that I've been doing it, I've. You know, you come across a lot of, and I consider you an OG. I like Ernie, Thanks. Mark Trinidad. Like these are some of like the guys that were always like as good as they were. They were always really humble, and I mean they. And you're right here. You're one of them. But like you're all like just humble. I hate kind of coming across, and I know, man, I'm not great, but like I have people that are into me. I draw a crowd, and dude. I can, you know, and I'm trying. I mean, I feel like I'm improving every show, but
that's what it is,
right? But you come across like a lot of these attitudes and like egos in comedy where it's like, hey, man, you can be an asshole on stage. I get it. There's a lot of Bill Burr has made a living being that guy, and it's like, but you know, once you get off stage, if you're a real asshole, like I don't care how funny you are. I don't care how much money you're going to throw at me. Like, I just don't want to build or, you know, work with people like that.
I know what you're saying.
And I really appreciate your outlook. You've been always really friendly. And
I think it's just easier to be friendly, man. I feel
like it is, you know?
Every time like, even when somebody will, like, cut you off when you're driving and, like, you swear, like, you get into, like, you swear at them and you're just after, I'm like, oh, I should just let it, like, who cares? Like, you know? And I think it's just an easier attitude to have. Is just be nice to people and be friendly, and it's less stressful. That's for sure. But getting back to stand up, it does draw a lot of those types of personalities to it. People who, you know, want to be seen and be the main character. There's a little bit of that stuff going on. I find it interesting how wide a variety of people do it or try it, and there's a lot of different backgrounds that succeed. People that are from all walks of life can do well as a stand-up comedian, and you can talk about stuff that you know, or you can talk about just be a joke writer. So I find that it's interesting in that way. But yeah, to your point, there's like you get a lot of people that are egotistical, but I guess there's that in like, there's other professions, like there's a lot of asshole lawyers.
And I think in any kind of art form, like, you have to have some sort of ego, but I don't think that should get in the way of you just treating people just with respect. Like,
no, definitely. Yeah. And that's like a go-to with life. I think you got to be confident in what you do. There's a difference between confidence and ego. If you're an ego, you're an asshole and you're kind of full of yourself, whereas you can just be confident in your ability to perform or in whatever you're doing. You can be a confident stand-up comedian, or you can be a confident accountant. You just have to... Confidence is different, and like the ego is like it gets out of control sometimes, but it's all good. I mean, it's part of it for sure.
You gotta figure it out. You don't want to get to like Kanye West level ego.
No,
where you're a god and the best thing to happen. And don't get me wrong, like like Kanye West has some. I mean, he's skilled.
Sure.
But it's like. Yeah. I think he's at the point where his ego has definitely gotten in the way.
Yeah, obviously any type of music is like subjective, but I think you have to say he's an objectively really good, artist. Yeah,
regardless if you like him or not. Like I definitely don't listen to a lot of his newer stuff, but he's talented.
He is, and again, you're right with he's kind of. You see, it's weird that we watch this guy go through all these things, and like you're able to like observe it. You sit back and you can be like, oh, look at that. Whereas like it's weird. I don't even know. Like, I'm interested in him making. I really liked when he was making good music that I enjoyed, and it seemed that he was happy. And I hope he doesn't seem very happy seemingly now. And again, I don't know the guy, but I hope he's happy and I hope he's doing what he wants to do. But from what I hear, it doesn't seem like it. And again, I don't know what anything about the guy, what he's going through.
Have you watched his documentary thing on Netflix yet?
No.
Are you interested in watching that, or?
Maybe I would like.
It's long, but it's fairly interesting. They don't touch on everything, but they touch on most of the stuff, and it, it shows a side of him where you're like.
He certainly has a unchecked ego, and he seems to. Pick on people and like, people that if you pick on somebody, if you're kind of like a bully in one way or another, it shows a weakness inside of you that you might not want to access.
Yeah.
Right? You're not ready to come to terms with how you're really feeling, so you're going to project that on other people and make them feel like shit. So...
Well, he definitely has mental health issues,
Yeah, again,
he's dealing with that under the spotlight, which is never, I don't think a lot of people would do well that way. But it's crazy because, like, I mean, you've made it so far in the social media world, but like almost every account, as soon as you see some shit about like Bitcoin or transfer me this, it's like fucking hacked. So many people I know have been hacked, and it's just
Bitcoin stuff.
Yeah, man, and I see things on like posts, like comments, and it's like, so it's one of those, fucking, shitty scammer people, and they're commenting on a popular post, and I just like the other day I went to write like "fuck you" on the post because I knew exactly what it was, and I didn't see anything, and I fucking went to write "fuck you," and then Instagram's like, "Are you sure you're about to, if you click OK, you're gonna be banned?" And I'm like, I have podcasts, some shows that I'm putting on. I can't really be banned from social media.
It's weird that if you express how you feel by using a curse word, that's not allowed, but this person can willfully run a scam that's very clearly a scam.
Exactly.
It's funny. I don't know.
That and Kanye West posting this shit about like Pete Davidson. That his recent music video or whatever.
I hear he like burns him or something.
Like, I mean, come on.
Poor guy. What the fuck's he doing? Buddy, just go to the beach, man. Like you got so much money. You've done so well selling all these shoes with Adidas. Take some time.
Is that who he's with?
Yourself.
Kanye's with Adidas.
Those
shoes are like horrible looking.
They're strange looking. Some of them look like I could see like a Smurf, like wearing them. Like Gargamel has a pair, and then also Papa Smurf has a pair. They're just they kind of look like a little bit like that.
Yeah, I know the ones you're talking about. And there's other ones
bubbly, like maybe like a melted candle, and you glue that to a regular shoe. But again, he sold tons of them, and that actually, funny enough, that speaks to his popularity and his like ability to control his fame and whatever he's doing, whether he's aware or self-aware or whatever. The guy is like just totally marketable. Any big company in the world, if he was like, I want to do a commercial with you, they'd be like, okay.
Yeah, there's something to being able to put out such a shitty shoe and sell it for like, hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, he's made hundreds of millions of dollars. So I think that he should he spent some time in Wyoming. That was nice. It's a wide open country. I think you should just go maybe to like, southern Argentina, like around there, and just relax.
Dave Chappelle it. Just disappear for a little bit.
Just get that one dude, that guy on the Food Network who like cooks all the stuff on an open fire, and his name's like Francois. He's like a sexy old man. Just go hang out with that guy and eat a bunch of jackrabbits or something. You know what I mean? Just fucking relax, dude. Honestly. Burning your ex's new flame. You're like gonna burn him. Like, what is that? What is this, grade 11? Like, what are you gonna do? You gonna write a mean letter and pass it out to people? Like, it's so weird. Why? Like, it's weird, man. It's just weird. You got your kids, like, maybe just be like set an example for your kids. I don't know. But again, that's just me. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah,
I have no control over him.
I don't even know, and I don't really pay too much attention. I just kind of see some things that are posted on Facebook and stuff.
Whatever.
I saw something about him like getting the house across the street from where like Kim lives. It's just it's getting a little weird. I think
lines and stuff. He like peers down, like
going
cuts
away.
A hole
for
in the
real
fence.
Though, that's like I think that's where we're at right now in his life, and I don't know. Maybe
like I said, you just gotta chill out, man. You just gotta relax, sit by a fire.
Nobody checks him at that level. When you get something I like.
He's making money for people around him. That's why nobody's gonna check him.
Right. Yeah.
He's getting people
That's
paid.
The main thing.
They don't.
Yeah.
They don't. His mental health.
As long as they get money.
It's a classic case. Like all these superstars, they have these handlers who are just like very good. Check, please. Yeah. They don't care. They don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's all business, right?
Mm-hmm. If I was, if you can get in Kanye's pocket and just be like, oh yeah, that looks great, and then he gives you like $60,000, you'd be like, sweet. I'd be like, I'm here all day. I'll tell you you're great. Give me money.
Yeah, like something I find like, and obviously no matter what level you're at, there's going to be people that doubt you, but I feel like as juvenile as it is, like something that still drives me to this day is probably like one of my biggest drives is when people don't think or like actually say that I can't do something. Like it really motivates. Like I'm holding on to shit that people said to me like 20 years ago as fuel, man.
That's important. To have that kind of motivation. If you can be motivated by that, really, I find it's hard, personally, to be motivated certain ways. You get tired, and everyone's got a lot of shit going on in their life. So anything you can take to motivate yourself to do something that you want to do is great. However fuel that is, and like, yeah, man. If somebody tells you can't do it, that definitely makes you want to prove that you can, and especially if you're doing something that you enjoy and that you can see yourself doing. If somebody was like, you can't parkour down this parking garage, I'd be like, I agree.
That's fair. That's a good point, man. That's a good point. I wouldn't even try.
Yeah, I'm not going to put on the Chicago Bulls theme song and go for a run. Like, I'm going to just be like, yeah, for sure. But like stand up and stuff like that, yeah, if somebody told me that, if somebody was like, you can't hack it, I'd be like, okay. You know what I mean? I'm going to try my best even more so now, just to prove you wrong.
No, that's a good point, man.
I would, for sure.
So what else like, are you into other than stand-up? Like, what other hobbies you got?
Funny enough, I'm a big music guy. I love different music, every genre, really. And I used to work at a hi-fi store, so I'm totally into, like, electronics. There's the pro side of audio, which I like, and I don't know as much about. It's more like just consumer audio, like integrated amps and turntables and all that kind of thing. I sold them, and I was a big fan even before. I like, honestly, if I had a lot of time during the day, and when I used to, I would just sit and relax and listen to music. on my stereo and like just, you know, have a beer and just like chill. And I really like live music. Like I enjoy going to see shows, but if I had to choose one or the other, I would likely, especially now, choose sitting down and watching, or at a show where I can be like, it's at Roy Thompson Hall and I can sit and have a ginger ale and then go home. The days of going crazy are over for me. But like, man, I'm a big fan of just like, I love amps and speakers and like looking at them and like how they look and, you know.
So when you were like, oh, that's a nice mic, you weren't just saying that because it looks nice. You were saying because you know what it is. It's a good
quality. Yeah, you have good quality equipment here.
All right.
Thanks, so man. I'm assuming on post it's going to look and sound really good, which is the way it should be if you're going to make something. Yeah. You know, and especially if we have access to this kind of stuff now, and it's not cheap, but it's not outrageously expensive to get a setup that's like really nice. And yeah,
you going to see any shows this year? Concerts, I mean?
So far I don't have tickets to anything, but in the summertime I feel like I'll be more inclined, especially just like been cooped up so long. If there's a cool show and it's...
You like Chili Peppers?
The Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Yeah, they're coming. I got tickets to that.
That's cool.
Yeah, most expensive tickets I've ever paid for a show, man. And like I've been to some festivals, bro. Like with like outrageous Ozfest, Summer Sanitarium, like with just crazy good lineups where it was less money than this.
Where is the show?
That's a good question. I want to say it's at
ACC.
I think Scotia. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what it's called. Scotia.
I'm worried now about when, you know, live music and stuff comes back. It was already an expensive venture, but these companies and promoters and everybody else is going to justify charging people an arm and a leg even more now because they've missed out. They'll say, oh, we've missed our revenue targets for the last 2 years. They'll say something like that. And then somebody will be like, charge them way more. And they'll be like, great, for sure, we will. So I'm worried about that. Like, because I want to be able to see really awesome artists when they come here if I want to, but I'm worried like it's going to be so expensive. It's going to be, you know.
Well, we got to the point, I feel like, already where a lot of bands and big festivals that used to come to Toronto, there was always like 2 destinations in Canada for sure, Montreal and Toronto. Yes. And now it seems like they don't even come to Toronto and they just go to Montreal. Like the exchange rate too is really shit.
It's gonna all come back eventually when all the travel restrictions and blah 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 are lifted. All this stuff will be, you know, the industry itself is clamoring for it. Small venues, big venues, like average size, everyone's looking to put on shows, but I'm just worried that it's going to be super expensive because it already was. But I think there'll always be a demand for that kind of entertainment. People love live shows, and you know, even stuff like Broadway musicals are amazing when you go see them and that's your bag. It's like,
I got my girlfriend, well, we're both going to go, but I got her the tickets for Christmas to see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, I think it's called.
The Cursed Child.
Yeah. You know of that?
It's probably got big ears or something.
You into Harry Potter?
Actually, yeah, I watched all of them for the first time over like Christmas. I watched all the flicks. They're good movies, man.
That's a lot of time.
I had lots of time.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was actually nice. They're good movies. I've never read the books.
Yeah, no,
obviously, I'm assuming the books are better because it's just longer. I get it, but
see, I'm not
cool,
even.
Man. There's a talking hat in there. There's a talking hat.
That thinks books are better than movies, and I read comic books. But like, man, if I could choose, for sure, my girlfriend is the opposite. You know, where you stand? You more?
I don't know, man. If I had time to read the books, I probably would too.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
it takes a long time.
I'm not going to read 7. How many pages is that? It's like 7 books times. It's like 4,000 pages.
It's at least 12 trees.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's or like one really big one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, it's not. It's not something that I'm gonna do. But the movies were cool, man. Actually, the animation was pretty cool. Voldemort, he's like got a weird looking face. That's neat.
Yeah, he's a good villain.
What's the big guy's name?
The Viking guy?
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know.
Hum diddly? Humidor.
Humidor, fuck.
Some shit like that. He was cool. That guy's
he
awesome.
Is cool.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And he's got that horse.
Can't remember his name.
With the wings.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like a weird face. That's a cool
I thought
thing.
they killed him, like...
No. He comes back at the end, yeah. See, this is... Harry Potter's cool, man.
Harry Potter's alright. I actually just got into it because of my girlfriend, you know?
Quidditch is cool. It's like a game where you have to catch a little ball. And
I feel like people actually play that. Like, there's actual, like, legitimately
LARPing.
real...
Live-action role play.
Yeah.
You gotta LARP the Quidditch.
Never done it, but
That's an interesting thing to say. I'm gonna LARP some Quidditch. Most people would be like, you're gonna eat what now? But, LARPing Quidditch is probably something that did happen. Probably more in the, 2010s or whatever, when Harry Potter was popular, people would LARP the Quidditch more.
I think they're doing, like a Dumbledore kind of prequel, so I think it's gonna come back around.
Oh, man, yeah, if they make another flick, I would see it. It's cool.
But I
didn't mind the movies at all.
All these people are starting to hate on J.K. Rowling for all her views on whatever it is. But I got into it about 2 years ago, I would say. And ever since I saw the 7th movie, I fucking been hating J.K. Rowling. Idiot. I killed Dobby off and shit.
She's an idiot.
That's what I don't like her for.
You're a billionaire, stuffy British person.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a fuck what you have to say about that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Let people live their lives. Shut your mouth. You mean you got so lucky? You know what I mean? How many other authors have written little fantasy things that could have gotten off in the right? She got lucky ultimately. She had very good books and well written, blah blah blah. But you made $1 billion. This is another person who can go away. Go away. Bye bye. See you later. You got so much money. I don't want to hear one stinking word from your mouth. I don't give a damn what you have to say. If I had $1 billion, nobody would hear anything from me. Bye.
Oh, buddy, she's going to be featured on that song for Ukraine that they're doing.
Great. That'll work. That's going to
it's just a matter of time, really.
I feel like now that Putin's heard that there's going to be a song, he's going to dial it back a little bit until he hears the song. And if he likes that song, then it's right off when his troops are gone.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
It's gonna, for sure.
A song that touches the hearts and also the minds. It needs to touch the hearts and minds, in particular of the head of the KGB. That's going to be good. Hopefully they'll raise some money.
Yeah.
I guess that's what they're doing.
It's a very sensitive topic, man, but I think as of right now, the gayest thing a straight man could do is not want to fuck the president of Ukraine. Is he the president?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He seems like a cool guy.
He kind of does,
He was
right?
an actor before and a comedian.
Right.
And apparently he played a role where he was a teacher and he became the president.
Yeah.
So he's living out his...
I think I saw one scene, my girlfriend has TikTok and we fucking watch them sometimes, and there was a video on there of him actually referring to Putin and cussing Putin in the movie.
I hope it's a crazy situation and makes you appreciate that we're very lucky over here and
absolutely
how anything can happen in a second. So you just have to be grateful for what you've got, because the world is nuts. It can be. And we're in this nice little pocket. We got lucky where we were born, man. Bottom line. Here we are. We came out and we're free healthcare, and then there's Lunchables everywhere, and you're this is sweet. There's probably a ravine. You can hang out in a ravine. A lot of people get that.
No, it's true, man. I don't think a lot of people... People like to focus a lot of times on the things that are negative in their life, but...
A lot of people love to do that. It's true. And again, it's easy when you're scrolling all day and you're seeing people doing stuff and you're like, oh, this person's here and this person. You're like, this whole thing is designed to make me upset, this scrolling machine. If you could have a machine that you could scroll that was literally just pictures of dogs and videos of cats and that kind of thing, waterfalls, that's all you need. I don't need to see... There's this cool, they say, I forget who did the math, but there's this, generally, agreed upon, not even a theory, just, real, numbers crunching. You can only really know maximum something like 300-ish people at one time. As a human being, you don't have the time the space to actually, and I'm not talking about like, oh, I've seen this guy. It's like, I know his name, I know what he does, I know something about him. He's a acquaintance. Mm-hmm. You can only know like 300 people at the most. And most of us, if you think about it, how many people do you actually know like that? Maybe like where you could go to their house and hang out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so 300 people, even if you knew that many people, that's not a ton of people. I've done comedy shows with that many people in it, easily. And like, it's weird that social media, you've got thousands of people looking at you and you're looking at thousands of other people and you'll never know them. You don't know anything about them. You don't even really know where they are. But you see them doing something and you're like, oh, your brain reacts, oh, they're doing that. I don't know you, man. I don't know anything about you. Why the fuck should I be looking at you? Seriously. It doesn't make any sense. It's weird. It's strange to me. It is. Like, people do the weirdest shit too for, like, TikTok has caused people to dance silly and if you're a kid, you do that. You're a kid.
All right.
That's what you do. You're 12 years old. You're supposed to have fun. You're supposed to be innocent and enjoying your life in that way. But if you're an adult and you're dancing around and there's like this war going on and the Great Barrier Reef is bleached and there's like wildfires and you're like, gotta get this dance perfect. It's like, unless you're a professional dancer, why are you doing that? What's going on? Do you want to get like likes? What is it? What does the likes do? You get, then a shampoo company is like, we're going to give you $7,500 and you're going to tell the world that you love this shampoo. And you're like, I made it. I made it. It's so strange. And so many people are doing that. So many people, thousands and thousands of people. How many Instagram users are there? 100, 200 million? You know what I mean? How many? There's so many people on Instagram. Even if 1% of Instagram was doing that, that's still 2 million people. So even if it's 0.5% of that, you have 1 million human beings dancing around trying to get everyone's attention, like a dog at the dog park who's in heat. Like, doesn't make any sense.
No, I definitely feel the same. Same way.
That was a good rant.
That was good, man. You had a lot of good points, and I pretty much agree with everyone. You're totally right, though, dude. And like, I agree with the age thing. Something I do want to kind of add, like a little asterisk, is I also really like I don't have TikTok. I kind of when I first started the podcast out, I was putting clips on there, and then I got shadow banned, and I was like, this isn't worth making all these extra clips if no one's gonna watch them.
Sure.
So I just fucking deleted it off my phone. I just watched it on my girlfriend. But I really like when like the young kids get their like grandma something to do it. I like that.
That's fine.
But like people like our age, I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm not looking for 15 minutes of fame. I want some longevity in my career.
And you're doing this because you enjoy it too. Like, it's as a caveat, like when their kids doing it and they're having fun, great. If it's like parents exploiting their kids and getting them to do all this shit, then that's horrible. It should be a crime, honestly. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Not a big TikTok tag. What about like when it comes to? I mean, I've seen it, like you post a lot of like your family and your pets and like other weird kind of like meme photos. Like what are like your other pet peeves when it comes to like social or even like just in general pet peeves?
Pet peeves?
Stand-up comedy, maybe people on stage. Like up until recently, like one of my pet peeves was people busting out notes on stage.
Fair enough.
And I'm new, man. I don't know a lot of the things. I'm still navigating a lot of new waters and stuff, so I'm figuring things out.
I think the notes thing depends on the show. If it's a professional show and you're not going to want to do that, maybe. But also, I think it depends on how the comedian handles it. If you're flummoxed and you're looking through your notes, or you're like half-assing it and you're like, let me check, like. If you look and say, and you're having a great set and you need to look something up and you're like, and you address it and you get a laugh that you're looking at the note, then sure, I mean, that's probably fine. But again, it's generally not something that you're going to want to do.
Yeah, like, okay, so the very first time I ever did it was about a month ago, and I hadn't performed in 2 months.
Sure.
And I had a bit of new material, and I just wanted to make sure I got through it to see how people would... respond to it. And so I busted, and I did kind of what you did. I was like, and I kind of...
Yeah, if you're doing, again, it's about how you handle it, and like, I think that it's it also depends on the show and depends on how you're doing. If you're like eating shit, and then you like, give me one, let me just go to my notes here. You'd be like, the ship is like, it's on fire. You know what I mean? The notes, you're not going to revive yourself with like a little ditty that you wrote down all hammered, like nobody, you know. But if you're doing well and you're like, oh fuck, I really want to say this thing, but I forget what it is. And you go over and you're like, oh, it's this. Oh, okay, boom, boom, boom. Then that's probably fine. And again, depends on the show. For somebody who's, you know, at an actual comedy show, like, and they've paid big money or reasonable money for a ticket, and it's their night out, like on a Saturday, they're not gonna, if they're gonna expect a level of professionalism.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but again, I've seen it happen in every scenario. So whatever.
No, I don't plan on doing it a lot. It was just kind of that.
The thing about comedy is it's a bit of a, it's so, you know, it's obviously subjective, but it's like, it's happening so fast. Everyone's paying such close attention to what you're doing. You're the only person on stage. Everybody's looking at you. So every mannerism that you do, every gesture, how you interact with the notebook is going to give a reaction. So it's really just about that. It's like, you know, but yeah, if you're at like a proper show, you know, hopefully you're doing the jokes that you remember that you know are good, and you don't, and you do all the stuff that you know that's good, that you're going to do well with, your best stuff, if you need to do that. And then you have the one in the back of your head where you're like, okay, if I do joke 1, 2, 3 that I know are good, then maybe I'm going to splash in this new thing that I thought of when I was hammered eating a taquito at 3 a.m. And if that goes well, great, I'll build on it. If not, then I'll go back to 4, 5, 6 that I know are good again. So it's like kind of like, well, there's different ways to do it.
So what are your like pet peeves?
With comedy,
yeah.
I really dislike when people, when they shit on the room in one way or another. This place is weird. What are there, cobwebs? And you're like, we're at a venue that somebody owns that has let us do this there. This person is also an independent business person like yourself. They are trying to make money at their establishment. And then you have the audacity to like announce on a microphone that their place is shit. That just means it's your job as a comedian to entertain people and make them laugh.
Right.
If you're saying that out loud, that means you're trying to generate a laugh from this place that you are also at being shit. So it just doesn't make sense. I also don't like when people I get an Irish goodbye, and that's fine. You can Irish goodbye, but I think it's important to...
What's an Irish goodbye?
Just you leave. You do your set and go.
Okay.
If you bomb, go, whatever. But like, you should
if
always...
you bomb, yeah.
You should always thank the person who's putting the show on. Be polite, because it's just a professional thing to do. And maybe somebody leaves and then they message them after on Instagram. I don't know. But I try to be, you know, this person, it probably messaged you, or maybe, and you went there, and they're maybe going to even pay you. So just, you know, be like, hey, great show, thanks for having me. Very simple to do. But I think that there's, again, this speaks to certain people feeling entitled, and like me being up on this stage is my right, and I'm amazing, so I'm just going to go, because I got other shit to do. Like, just be a little nice and polite to people. Goes a long way.
Yeah, I think sometimes, you know, depending, you know, where it is and what kind of show it is, like, and I'm not a big drinker, but I always try to buy something. Man. I've had plenty of real shit food just to support
and if you can do that, that's great. If not, you know, at least when you're up on stage, don't shit on the place.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And also...
What about crowds? What about, like, when, like, comedians shit on crowds?
It depends on what's going on.
Yeah.
If the crowd is... Sometimes when you do that, it's to kind of level people up and get them maybe to listen, or... And again, it's so subjective, and it's happening so quickly that, like, depending on what you say, who you say it to, and when you say it, you get a completely different reaction if you're talking to the crowd. Like, if they're being blah, blah, blah because the person before you, like, totally drained the energy from the room, I wouldn't shit on that comic, but I would be like, you know, address something like that. But if people are being rude, I don't know, you also have to toe the line, because if you start shitting on people in the wrong way, then they're gonna go against you. right? So you kind of have to draw that out if you're going to go there in the right way. You can totally shit on the audience if they deserve it, but just know that if you do that, you have to do it. I've seen people do it and totally shipwreck their own set because they felt like doing that. And if that's what you want to do, it's your set, it's your time. But I've seen people shit on the audience, and as soon as they say it, the whole audience laughs, because what you're doing is you're addressing the elephant in the room. Yeah, we've been a little quiet and we've been a little restless throughout this show because we're not feeling that hot about the show. If you address that, then they go, oh, this guy sees what we're going through. Then you might get them on your side. So again, it's how you say it and when.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm learning now, like hosting like my own shows and stuff. You know, it's been really helpful, and I've been enjoying it. But yeah, learning a lot of just like dealing with the crowd, and yeah, like especially your own, like you obviously want people to come back, even when other comedians are tearing people up. Like I've come out after Brovo like ate some people up when he was on stage, and I just came out and I like gave the guy a hug. I've given people like high fives, been like, "Hey man, sorry about that." You know, like just kind of like
you have to address that as a host, because
made
if you
something
don't,
funny of it. You know,
what you're doing is you're softening all that stuff up, right? If the audience is a little tense after something like that, you can soften it up because you're also addressing it and you're agreeing with the audience. Oh, that was a little harsh. Oof. Let's.
Yeah, I love Brovo, and I was in the back
like,
watching, and I thought it was funny, but I also knew, like, oh, I got, like...
Yeah, you have to address that. And, again, that's true. Yeah, that's a big part of it.
So who would you say, like, who would you say your influences are? And also, do you think those same influences, like... are what inspire you? Are your influences and inspiration coming from different sources?
It's strange because if you're talking about stand-up influences,
as a comedian,
stand-up I never really watched that much when I was a kid. Like when you're like 10 years old, you watch Eddie Murphy, like because he's in a red jumpsuit and he's swearing, and you're like, oh my god, I've never heard swears like that. But you don't know what he's saying.
Yeah.
And after that, I didn't really do a lot of... I wasn't that... Not that I didn't like it, I just didn't... I watched other things. Like, I had other things going on, sports and everything else. So I was often inspired to do stand-up by my friends, really. Not because they told me I should. Some people used to. But more just because we would laugh so much and have so much fun that I would just be like, this is great. I love... picking up on different people's senses of humor and their nuances, and whether it's a character or it's just their verbiage, like all these types of things, I would always absorb that stuff and I would really enjoy it. And I found that if I was going to be inspired by anything, it would be how funny the people around me were and how much I wanted to make them laugh and impress them with something I was saying, whether that's around like a campfire or like eventually on stage. So, but if I had a comic, like inspiration, it would probably be John Candy. I used to really love John Candy. I thought that he was such a funny man. Like, he's such a good character actor. He's really quite funny. His comedic timing and everything, and way he can make people laugh. But he was also such a sweet person. He was kind to people. When I was a kid, we were in grade 6, and he was filming Canadian Bacon up the street from our school. So the only time I ever skipped class up until that time of my life was to go and see him. And like 12 of us went, like a bunch of kids in the class. We all went to see John Candy because he was literally up the street. It was so exciting. And he came out, and and he was this big, larger than life, like total, like huge... I don't know, he's just admitted this awesome positive energy. And all the kids ran up to him, and we all like gave him a big group hug, and he was so happy. I remember him smiling.
Amazing, dude.
And he signed everybody's autograph, and he was such a friendly person. And like, he was genuinely, he wasn't like going through the motions.
Mm-hmm.
He was like,
some kids, I gotta be this person.
I love this. This is amazing. I'm so happy that my life lets these things happen where kids run up to me and hug me. You know, he was in heaven. And also, Norm from Cheers was there, who was in that movie as well. Yeah. And he was a total curmudgeon, and he didn't say nothing. But I think he was probably jealous because all the kids were like, John Candy, and he's just like, I sat on a bar stool in the 80s, and I said like 4 lines an episode that were like funny, and people were like, you know, I get a laugh track, where John Candy is this like larger than life dude. And again, this Norm from Cheers, nobody even knows his name.
Yeah, probably, we're calling him Norm from Cheers. Yeah,
probably exactly. John something.
Yeah.
You know, John whatever. John whatever is like, again, a very good actor, and probably a pretty decent comedic actor in his own right. And he's totally getting outshined by John Candy with these kids. And I think that speaks to him. And I try to be that kind of person as much as I can. Just be friendly. You know what I mean? It's so much easier. It's nice to relax.
I guess we'll try out these candies, dude.
Oh,
so I get this
is great.
This monthly subscription box called Tokyo Treat. They haven't sponsored me yet, but I'm trying. And they're all these snacks from Japan. You can pick one. I'll pick one.
Well, we can. I don't want to open. Why don't we open one and then we can split it?
We can split both of them, bro. You pick. We'll split both of them. Try both of them out.
These are cool, man.
Look at this popcorn.
Look at this.
And it doesn't really say, like.
Yeah, I mean it says if
English
you know,
on it,
if you know Japanese, it will definitely say what it is.
This book has all the details, bro.
Cool, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh, look at this thing. The turtle. Oh, neat.
Are you more of like a sweet or savory snack guy?
To be honest, I like both.
All right.
Look at these.
Do you smoke pot?
Okay. Occasionally, yeah.
Occasionally, okay. All right. What is on this popcorn?
I'm going to take this mystery one. I have no idea what it is.
All right, let's find it on here. I got it.
This will be good. These classic, the dip ones.
So this is some kimchi flavor don yaki.
Sold.
I butcher this shit all the time. Fine. Don yaki. I am white.
You know, you're doing your best. It's probably similar to what I mean. That has to be don yaki.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
It's got to be. Boom.
Looks great. Also, the packaging is really cool.
Check her out. And then what kind of this is?
Should I open it?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Mike popcorn shrimp salt.
Oh, popcorn shrimp.
It's popcorn. I think shrimp salt flavor. That's what I'm getting.
Can't be bad.
I'm not a seafood guy, man.
Oh, you don't?
You're big on seafood?
Do you not eat it, or are you allergic, or you just don't eat it?
Okay, so the story is
I'm fine with people that don't. I mean, there's a lot of plastic and mercury in those fish for sure.
Like I was raised in foster homes. And so somewhere along the line, it was passed along that I was allergic to seafood. So like my whole life, I was told I couldn't eat it, and I had this attachment and this smell. I couldn't get over it. And then when I was like, around 20, I got an allergy test, and I wasn't. But the damage had been done. I tried a few things.
What about, will you do fish and chips?
Okay,
that's the best way to start.
It depends. When I was in BC, my family got me to try, like we were at a restaurant, and they just got me to try a little bit of my cousin's fish.
Sure.
And just because of how fresh it was, it didn't really have the oceany taste. The problem for me is...
that's how it should be. If it tastes like fishy, in other words, it's probably not the best.
What do you think?
You really just want it to... Oh, I like those. They're good. Kimchi flavored is nice.
Not bad. I'm not a big kimchi fan.
Oh,
sometimes,
like
depending how, sometimes in like ramen or whatever.
If you need to clear it out, eh? Kimchi,
right. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna try this popcorn.
I mean, if you don't like fish, you might not. Well,
I gotta try it though.
Yeah, that's true.
So right, man. Like when I was in culinary school and shit, like mine, like 9 to 5 as a chef.
Cool.
And I went to culinary school, and like even there, my diet is. I was a vegetarian for a bit, but now I eat just like chicken. That's the only meat I eat.
Yeah, I mean, we shouldn't really be. If you actually take a look at how bad beef is for the environment, we probably shouldn't eat it at all.
But like in culinary school, the point I'm trying to make is I just tried a bunch of shit that I would never eat just because I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Oh,
definitely.
It's very heavily encouraged to try everything that you make, At least there. do you think of that?
Yeah, let me try one of these here.
Oh, you didn't try it yet? I don't know, buddy. I don't know.
Why am I looking at the back like?
Definitely not my thing. You speak any other language?
No. I went to school to be taught French for what? What did we get taught? Grade 4 to 9?
Yeah.
They didn't teach us a fucking thing.
I am French. I ain't taking any of that shit.
Can you speak French?
No. My last name's like Goneau, though. It's like I'm French, Canadian, and Italian.
Good.
And I just... That is yours, brother.
Oh, I'll take it.
That's all yours. Not a fan of that popcorn. But these are pretty good.
Those are good.
All right, dude. I guess we can go through our top five.
Okay, cool.
What do you want to start with?
I'll try to maybe SNL characters. Cast members, sorry.
It's a good one.
You
want to start?
Yeah, okay. Are you going to do yours and then mine? Or I just do?
You can. No, we'll both do them.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Personally, I would say my favorite would be Phil Hartman. I think he's amazing. He's amazing. Very brilliant guy. They've really run the gamut of famous comedians. You could say so many people.
Yeah.
Then I would say Will Ferrell.
Okay.
Then Tina Fey.
Love her.
She's so funny, man.
Yeah, man.
She's very, very funny.
Great writer, too. Not just like, yeah.
Great writer is almost an understatement for how good. Anyway, she can kind of do it all. Then Norm Macdonald, for sure.
Yeah.
You'd have to include him. My fifth one. I don't know. It would be hard. Let's say Jim Brewer.
Oh.
Because what did he, Goat Boy?
Was he?
Goat Boy?
Oh my god, yeah.
Just for Goat Boy.
Okay. Brewer's really funny too, like his stand-up as well. I enjoy him. He's very wholesome. He's a wholesome comedian.
I'm not sure if he's doing good or if he's a mess right now. I don't know. I feel like he could be a mess, but I'm not sure.
I haven't heard anything about like in his like.
His last name's Brewer. It's tricky.
All right, so my number one, Chris Farley.
Oh fuck! I forgot.
I think Gone Before His Time. Man, it's okay. Phil Hartman almost made my list, but I had to give him the boot.
Fair enough.
Will Ferrell's my number 2. Maya Rudolph is my 3, and like like in her age, like Tina Fey is like right there along with her.
Sure.
Amy Poehler's really close as well.
I could have put Amy Poehler in the top 5 for sure.
Then I'm going Tracy Morgan, number 4.
Oh, Tracy, shit.
And Norm Macdonald, number 5.
This is the thing about SNL is that you could make a similar. Your top 5 stand-up comedian list could be the same as the SNL.
That's very true. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's do cars, and I'll start. Admittedly, are you a super big car guy?
I know a lot about them, but I don't know the ins and outs of the mechanics and whatnot.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. Like, I'm not super into them. A lot of my opinions are just based on like how they look.
Yeah,
and how
most
they
of the
sound.
time. I'm not going to be like, this car sucks because it only has a 3.2 liter.
Yeah. I definitely don't know anything like that.
I know enough about them, but I kind of like, it's all about how they look.
I've always been a fan of like those long boat cars. You know, maybe like tinted black, and just done up really nice. Okay. And I think the best of those is the Cadillac Coupe de Ville.
Oh.
That's my baby. Actually, my Aunt Margaret had one, back in the day. Yeah, it wasn't done up like that, but it was that car, and it was like white, and
They're beautiful.
Yeah. So that's my number 1. I'm going. I don't know how you're gonna feel about this. Mazda 3.
Okay.
The one with the hatchback, like the off-road.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's a classic car.
I like it, man. If anything, like, I would love for that to be my first car. I can't imagine that they're too expensive anymore.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Ford Mustang's my number 3.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I'm not going with, like, any years. I don't know. Oh, be like, 67 was the best year. The I'm just saying, in general, the Mustang,
you like a Mustang.
Throughout the
You're
year.
A Mustang guy. That's cool.
Then we're going to go Beetle.
Beetle.
The Volkswagen Beetle, yeah. I always kind of had, like, if I ever got, like, money and was able to buy, like, a bunch of cars, I would soup up a Beetle with, like, monster truck wheels. Like, big ones, dude.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I just always thought that would look cool. And, like, the old one with, like, the trunk in the front.
Yeah.
I would want that. I prefer
classic.
that. And then Dodge Charger's my number 5.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I would probably say my number one favorite car is there's a BMW M5, and it was in the early 2000s. It's the E39 edition. That car's beautiful, and it's got a manual transmission, but it's got 5 seats and 400 horsepower, and it's just like a quintessential late 90s design. It's all kind of not box, the perfect amount of boxy but not boxy. I love that car. Then I would say, oh man, you got to go with. I'd probably have to go with an Aston Martin. They have one. It's like a V12, the one with the V12, and then another car with a V12, a 760 BMW V12 with the big V12 engine, motherfucker, that one, and then these strangely are I guess they're all kind of sport cars. Then I would go honestly with, I don't know, probably a 93 Subaru Legacy, because that was my first car.
Okay.
It's just a cool car.
It's odd that I actually know what that car looks like.
Good car,
I do know that car, yeah.
That thing went through the ringer, and I was totally fine. And then I would go with probably a Toyota 4Runner. I love 4Runners. Like how you're a Mustang guy, I've always loved 4Runners, whether they're the earliest ones up until the current ones are really nice SUV. It was kind of like an SUV before an SUV was even around. They kind of pioneered that almost in a way, because those old 4Runners, other than maybe them and Jeep were the two, they kind of they were designed for, not the city streets.
Yeah. I used to really, when I was younger, and I still kind of do,
that's my top 5.
Those Jeeps you could take the doors off of. I don't know exactly what they're called.
I think it's either a TJ or a YJ.
Yeah, I always
those are cool.
like those.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do comedians. Let's do
comedians, stand-up comedians?
Yeah, sure. Anything from SNL? Is that what you were getting at before?
Yeah, no, but the number one for me, I think it's probably, who knows, but for a lot of people it would be Richard Pryor. I think that he was brilliant, man. He was brilliant. If you watch his stuff, he's so in control, and he's really good. There's nobody who's able to paint a picture of a scene, of specific moment in time. This guy's painting this picture and telling you this story. Every intricate detail that he's saying, the way he's saying it, his inflections, he was a master of expressing himself in that way. And there's not that many people who can do that. It's such a unique thing that he was able to do. I don't know if it's unique. Other people can do it, but he was so good at that. So Richard Pryor for sure. I'm a big fan of Nate Bargatze, especially his earlier stuff. To be fair, I haven't seen a lot of his newer material, but I really loved his delivery. It was so just dry and witty, observationally witty. He was really, really funny. Oh God, she's local, but Deborah DiGiovanni.
Oh yes, I do know her. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I know her.
She makes me laugh so hard. So hard. That woman is incredibly funny. Then I would probably say another guy who's local, Tim Gilbert, who...
Oh, I don't know him.
He was always a fixture, but he's been in and out lately. I haven't seen him that much in the last few years, but his ability to make me laugh was really, he would kill me. He would just kill me, that guy. He was so funny. And then 5 would be, it's tricky. There's so many out there that I really like, and I'm trying to think about who. Honestly, I'd just pick Bernie Mac, because...
Okay, all right.
Bernie Mac...
That's a good...
The same, when there's this one, I think it was a Def Comedy Jam special, where he comes out, and he just owns these people. Like, he's just totally, they're in his hand. He can do whatever the fuck he wants with them. And he's just incredible performance.
You know what? I think I know the exact performance you're talking about. And they were eating the comics up before.
Yeah, he said something, he kept saying, you don't know me, motherfuckers.
Yeah. They were being real rough on the comedians Pryor, and he came on and just ate them.
He came up and
owned it.
It's so hard to do that, and he was just... He's so funny.
Yeah,
and you could put... It's hard for me to not put Tracy Morgan actually in that too, because I'm just thinking about people who have made... I would take out Nate Bargatze and put Tracy Morgan.
Okay.
Because Tracy Morgan has made me laugh so fucking hard.
Yeah, he's good, man. He's really good.
Like, it's hard. I'm not a cheap laugher. So to get me to laugh properly takes a lot. And that guy just fucking kills me. So yeah, those are them. I don't remember. Richard Pryor, Tracy Morgan, Deborah DiGiovanni, Bernie Mac, and I can't even remember the fifth one.
It's all right. You said them. They're on there.
Yeah.
They're recorded.
My brain's not...
You did say 5, though. I know you did.
I said 6.
Actually, yeah. All right. I'll go through mine quick. I've done them a few times. Our lists are significantly different, but I do like all the people on your list.
There's so many. There's a lot of
exactly, man. That's it. I could do like a top 40, and all of them would be fucking solid, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah, like I'm big fan of stand-up even before I was doing it, you know? I'm a fan first, I would say. Okay, so Rogan, my number 1. Catching a lot of heat right now. Chappelle, number 2. Number 3 is more of a local guy, Mark Ford.
Mark Ford.
Who he is?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I love him, man. And then we're going Carlin, number 4.
Oh, Carlin.
And
I forgot about George Carlin.
Bill Burr's my number 5.
Bill Burr.
I'm really... Theo Von is someone that's really come up. I also want to do honorable mention to Hedberg, because, like,
another guy.
Arguably, Hedberg and Rodney Dangerfield are, my favorite one-liner comedians.
Those are two amazing... I mean, it's hard to pick. Those are 2 really good ones.
Right.
There's a few others. There's, what's his name? Who, he puts on a weird voice. He's got, like, a weird high-pitched voice.
Neil Brennan?
No, he's older. Anyway, there's so many. Yeah, but, fuck, Mitch Hedberg, yeah. One-liner king.
Just another one that was gone, like...
And again, it's his delivery, his persona is also part of his, like, appeal. It's, again, it's all... It goes to show you how it's not... It's what you say, but also how you say it.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
It's like, Eddie Murphy comes out, and he's telling all these jokes, but he's got all this energy and pop, and he's making you laugh, and he's dressed in all red. Like, it's like the same thing. Mitch Hedberg comes out, and he's this droll, and he's like, times out his jokes perfectly, but he's got glasses on and long hair, a total hippie.
Yeah.
What he's saying, he looks like what he should be saying is what he's saying.
Yeah, it's so true.
Same thing with Eddie Murphy. Right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And they're polar opposite.
Yeah. Fucking oh my god, and there's one video, it's not like an official release, but he did like a 2-hour set at some university where he goes through like every joke he ever had, dude. And it's so good.
Yeah, man, he's
amazing.
So
good.
Oh, Norm, I could have put Norm in there.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Another guy.
All right, let's go do animals, man.
Animals?
This is kind of a cool one.
That's a fun one. There's so many cool animals out there. But I was thinking about this earlier, and I was like, I have to take out insects because they're cool, but I can't ride them or pet them.
Okay.
So they can't be in my top 5 if I can't ride it or pet it in a world where you could actually do that. Number 1 animal is hippo, for sure.
Hippo, okay.
Unquestionable, the hippo.
Why the hippo?
It'll always be my number 1 because they're huge.
Yeah.
There's so many weird, interesting facts about them. They have when they get cut, they have this weird... I can't even remember the color, but it's like... It's not their blood that comes out. It's like they excrete this weird, fluid that helps heal them. They're fucking cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, look it up. I might not be describing it properly, but there's something to that effect. They're also big, fat, like it looks like a cloud and a marshmallow, like had a baby, but it has this giant murder mouth. They kill people and they kill other animals. So like, but they don't eat them. They're like, they just eat like, oh, salad's enough for me. You know, I'm cool. But if you get anywhere near me, I'm going to bite you in half.
Yeah.
You piece of shit. Like the attitude to be like, I'm just over here. I'm all fat. I'm chilling. I'm going to eat some of this grass under the water. I'm in my pod with my friends. If you come anywhere near us at all, we're going to fucking kill you. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, man.
That's a cool attitude.
Yeah.
Then I would say, oh, man, I would say like, I really like penguins. I like penguins. They're so funny. They are just weird.
Did you see Penguin Town?
I want to see it. And there's this one where they show the penguins like how they have to like go through hell. They're in Antarctica and they have to. The babies are under their feet and they have to stay like this. It's -80 and they're like that for their babies.
Yeah. And
then they like jump off this cliff. It's fucked. The penguin life is not an easy one. It's not all it's cracked up to be. There's that. I would say a Komodo, or I'm going to go with a blue-tongued skink. I was thinking about Komodo dragon because they're crazy, but a blue-tongued skink is like this big, and it's like a fat, flat lizard with a blue tongue. It's so funny, right? I just think that's cool as hell that exists. Then I'm going to go with like a killer whale, an orca.
Okay.
They are crazy. They are just crazy. They hunt moose. They kill moose. They kill anything. And they're smart. They like tip the seals off the icebergs. Like they're vicious. But then you look at them and they're like, we're innocent. We're like a big dolphin. Don't worry about me. But then they'll eat everything. It's kind of like the same mentality as a hippo in that way. They have that attitude about them where they're like, they look cool, but they're also total murdering psychopath animal, which I kind of think is interesting. And then the last one is grizzly bear. I love grizzly bears. They're cool. Grizzly bears are cool because they love to eat everything. They'll like go and eat your food in your tent. They'll eat garbage. They love to eat berries. They hibernate for 6 months of the year. They just go into a den and they sleep. Like, what other animal does that? It's fucking nuts. What are you, a turtle? Like, they just go away. They're like, nah, winter. So the winter's coming and they eat a bunch of food to get fat and then they go to bed the whole winter. It's the best thing of all time. So smart. And they have crazy claws. And they can run faster than Usain Bolt.
Oh, crazy. Climb trees like a mother, too?
It's crazy to me that animal, same with a hippo, are like so fast. They're so... that Usain Bolt, fastest person in the world. If you gave him a 50-meter head start, so halfway, and the Grizzlies at the start line, Usain Bolt's halfway down the fucking thing, before Usain got to the 100-meter, the bear would catch Usain Bolt. That is fucking fast. And it's this huge animal that eats berries and like, I don't know.
Have you ever seen what they look like without their fur?
No, I probably...
They look a lot like dogs, man. Like, I wonder if there's some sort of like, branch of, the canine...
There's got to be something in there. They're all the same kind of genus, I guess. Yeah, they're huge motherfuckers. A grizzly bear and a hippo.
Is that 5?
Yeah, that's 5.
All right. I'm going with cats. And I mean, like, not just like, my cats. I mean, like, I like tigers. I like lions. I like all of them,
Jaguars.
Jaguars, yeah, man. Panther. Cheetahs, yeah. Mm-hmm. All that shit. I'm going to go with dogs, my number 2. These are like, household. My thing is, too, like you were saying about animals and insects and stuff like that. It's like, that's how if I can't snuggle with I don't even want like fish.
You can't.
Who owns fish?
If you want to have your favorite animal as a beetle, that's fine. But it's like you can't. The beetle's not going to show you any affection.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's a beetle.
Penguins on my list too, number 3.
They're great.
Yeah, they're very, very interesting creatures. I want to go with monkeys for my number 4.
Oh, monkey.
Yeah, like it was like monkeys or like that whole like chimpanzees and gorillas, like all that.
Remember the chimp that ate that lady's face? That was fucked up.
I don't remember that.
Oh, don't look.
I remember that the one that was in IKEA, or there was like a monkey.
Yeah, the
in
IKEA monkey.
I remember that. Yeah.
Simpler times. No, the chimp ate a woman's face.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It was like her
she
pet?
was on Oprah.
Was it her pet?
It was her friend's pet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd have one as a pet.
Some friend, eh?
Yeah, right? And then it was between this or eagles, and I went with owls because I thought like I'm more like an owl. I was like, if stand-up comedians are any animals, they're fucking owls.
Yeah,
you know?
I could see that.
Just a really interesting.
They can spin their heads around like The Exorcist.
Yeah, I did like when I was young. I think my love for owls kind of came from dissecting an owl pellet.
Oh
and, like,
yeah,
I did like
the stuff in there. We did that too.
Man. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, you see all the little bones in there and everything. All
like whole bones. Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, they're cool.
And I guess we'll end on superheroes, sir. Mm-hmm. I can go through mine first.
Yeah, okay.
Batman's my number 1. Just saw that.
Dude. Yeah, well,
that's phenomenal. Go see it if you haven't seen it yet.
I will.
Ninja Turtles.
Okay, Ninja Turtles. Yeah. Do you have a favorite Ninja Turtle?
Raphael.
Interesting. Not a lot of people go Raph. I like because he's sarcastic. I used to be a Leonardo guy, just because I like the blue. I guess probably because I was a dumb kid who liked blue as a color. But Michelangelo probably is just because he's like he loves pizza and he's like
the
most laid back guy.
Yeah.
And he had the nunchucks, didn't he? Yeah,
he did. Yeah. I am going. Where was I? Ninja Turtles. Red Hood's my number 3.
Oh, cool.
Arsenal's my number 4, and then Spider-Man's my number 5.
Spider-Man's a classic.
Yeah.
Okay, I will go with. Can you do like all different worlds? Like, could I say like Megatron? Like.
Oh, dude, absolutely. I've had people say like their parents or like athletes or like wrestlers
you can't
and
say
shit.
That. That's not right.
You can do whatever you want, man.
I know, I'm joking. But no, Megatron is crazy and cool, and of all the Transformers, like would turn into cars and jets, this guy turns into a gun. What the fuck? Like crazy, no?
And now they're bringing in for the live action movies. I mean, I haven't watched the last couple ones. I like the first 2. Mm-hmm. But now they're bringing in, like, they're going the Beast Wars route. So, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, so Megatron, if I had to pick one Transformer, I could pick a few. I like him.
Yeah.
Wolverine. Huge Wolverine guy. Is that me?
Yeah.
No, I'm just talking about something else there. Watch. And, yeah, Wolverine. Then I would say Thanos. Is it Thanos or Thanos?
I mean...
I love that dude, man.
Tomato.
Yeah,
Thanos.
He just kills everybody, but he's got like this like, he's like, no, it's good what I'm doing. You have to understand. If you understood that what I was doing was good, it's just he's a cool character. I like him.
Yeah, definitely interesting. Yeah, layers.
Yeah, I like. Also like Magneto, a lot. Magneto is really really cool, and there's so many that you could pick. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you really could pick so many. I would probably go with... I liked Gambit. I thought Gambit was cool. They should make a Gambit movie, no?
They should, man.
He was a pretty main character. Because I used to watch that X-Men live action on Saturday like crazy.
Yeah.
And he was featured pretty heavily in those ones. And, like, he just seemed like a cool character. He's, like, from, like, the Bayou, I think.
Yeah, I think with the X-Men, like the whole X-Men franchise is like they're kind of in limbo right now figuring out what to do with that. But I would love for
they could always
Gambit to
do
get
something there.
Some spotlight.
They've done a lot of them to death, but there's still some room to play in there. They should do
Gambit hasn't really been done. He was in I think like maybe 1 or 2 of them, but his character was fairly lame, I thought.
They should find they should do a villain origin story. Like, just the evilest dude. Like, not even Magneto. Somebody worse than him.
Well, they did something like Joker. Did you see Joker with Joaquin Phoenix?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think of that?
I thought it was good. He's a very good. I thought it was an interesting take on it too.
Yeah.
Just the way it was shot and everything was cool.
That's what I would say.
It was like raw. It was raw, if I could use a word to describe it.
No, that's fair.
It was cut back.
It's kind of one of those you don't want to see a part 2s.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of like pomp to it and big set dressing and all this. You know, it was kind of just stripped away, and it was like, here's the trial of this and tribulations of this crazy guy, and here's how he becomes crazy. I thought the simplicity of it was kind of what made it, I guess.
Yeah, that's kind of what I really liked about the Batman. It was a very fresh, it's like live action take. Like this is very much from like Detective Comics Batman, where this is like year 2 Batman. So, you know, he's still figuring out who he is, and I just love the take. It's a very kind of like thriller, horror kind of like vibe, and I don't know, Batman, I mean, they've always had like a dark tone, but they've never really felt like this. I like it. And that song, Ave Maria, you'll never hear it the same again after this movie, bro. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, man. But I guess we're out of here, brother. You can tell these people where to get at you. And
yeah, man. Well, I do a lot of Instagram stuff, mainly. It's my social media of choice. You can follow me at shirt_Gordon. I'm doing lots of live shows now that it's back. I got your show on April 3rd.
Hell yeah.
Which is going to be great. I'm excited to do that.
Wait, April 3rd?
Is it the 3rd? Maybe it's not.
I think it's the 2nd.
Sorry, the 2nd.
I think it's the 2nd. Yes, headlining. That's going to be dope.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And, yeah, man, lots of live shows to come as things open up and we get back at it. So, yeah, check me out on Instagram if you want to follow me, and hope everybody has a good day.
Hey, man. Like always, this podcast is brought to you by Neon Light District. Hit them up. Use code PillowTalk to save 10%. And by The Great North Apparel. Hit them up. Use code PillowTalk to save 30%. Really appreciate you being here, brother.
Man, thank you.
Go get your tickets to the monthly show. Go get your tickets to Lafiteria. And we'll see you in 2 weeks, guys. Peace the fuck out.
Take care.